Hi, my name is Matt Newmark and I'm owner and chief instructor of Elite Defense Systems. I'd like to welcome you to this last video within this quick little series that I want to kind of serve you with more or less by helping you find the best martial arts academy. And once again, may I just reiterate again that our martial arts academy may not be the best for your needs. But what I do want to do is once again educate you so you don't get caught in a program where all of a sudden you can't get out of very easily, or maybe, God forbid, you've even wasted months if not years of your time. If I can go ahead and I can do that for you, well then obviously these videos have served the purpose that I intended them to. The next thing I want to kind of cover is just a bunch of little miscellaneous questions. Believe me, I could probably make another dozen or two videos as far as this stuff goes. And it really just comes into having so many students over the years come to me with so many different complaints about so many other martial arts schools. That's made it great because I've been able to learn from that and obviously make my schools much stronger. But at the exact same time, it's great because I'm able to now educate other people who are looking for the martial arts programs. Here's just a couple other miscellaneous questions that I want you to make sure that you have answered before you get into a martial arts program. The first thing is who exactly teaches the classes? Oh, this is the one that kind of is a little bit more of a pet peeve of mine. I see so many martial arts schools these days really being run or really being taught by just the best student in the class. And really it's a shame because when people come on in, they pay for classes. I would hope that they would expect that they're at the very least taught by a very vetted staff member who has gone through a certification process and a lot of specific instruction how to teach, not just what to teach. And I think that's very important. So make sure you check that out. The next thing is once again, this is kind of a question or a point that kind of hits home for me personally because I've had the blessing of now doing this as a full-time job for years upon years. And really this is the only means that I have of supporting my own family and goals. But is the teacher who teaches the class, or at least runs the school, is this their full-time job? And once again, I'm kind of torn between having this in here or having it not, because I do know of schools, I do know of instructors who run programs that it is not their full-time job. It is their hobby, or maybe it might be a part-time job. However, all I can tell you is my experience and also some of the other stuff that I've seen. I've seen the schools that are run by full-time people where it is their only job. I see those programs as usually being higher quality programs. And I just think that when a person gets up in the morning and goes to bed at night and everything in between is totally focused on their schools, their programs, their students, I think naturally there is an increase in quality. So obviously it shouldn't be the only question that is asked when you're looking for a martial arts school, but it is an important one that I at least want to point on out. The next thing I want to point on out is class size. We kind of went over the quality of the class or what makes up the class in the last video, but really in this question right here, you want to know the exact number or the average number of students per class. I always feel that usually between 12 and 15 students is probably a maximum number per class. The unfortunate fact is I see so many schools these days literally have 25, 30, 35 kids within a class, and that's just talking kids. And once again, not only through being a parent but also running kids classes, I can just tell you this. If you have 30, 35 kids running around, maybe between the ages of 4 and 6, usually that's pretty chaotic. So once again, take a look at it not just from how many students a particular instructor can handle, but also the quality of instruction that's going to be able to brought in between a class that's, let's say, 20 or 30 students compared to half that. The next thing is a promised level or a promised belt level that the instructor will promise upon registration. I see this so many times, get your black belt in 18 months or in 2 years. That once again is a pet peeve of mine. Even if a instructor spends, let's say, 30 minutes with potential students, I'm guessing that that instructor cannot tell me really what the potential is for that student. How do you know that that student can get their black belt in 18 months or 2 years or even a year I see these days, which drives me nuts? I mean, you literally have 5- and 6-year-olds being brought on in, given their black belt in a year. How is that possible? So it's just something, maybe a red flag that that can possibly be thrown on up as you're looking at different martial arts programs. The last thing is fees and maybe extra fees that a person may have to pay. First of all, the fees. You obviously have to make sure that the particular program that you're looking at fits within your budget. But you also want to take a look at other things like, are these fees going to raise when my child or when I actually progress through the program. That's something very, very important to obviously take a look at. Extra fees as far as belt fees, uniform fees, testing fees, these are all important. These are all important things you want to make sure that you ask before you sign up for classes. I think that would only be a very common sense thing to obviously have. If you can actually have a written out price sheet, something like we give, we're able to see exactly what the fees are from the start of the program all the way through the end of the program. I think that's very, very helpful as well. So once again, you may want to inquire about that, not just have a person tell you, hey, listen, you know, classes are going to be so much per month or so much for the program. If you can have it in writing and actually have a, you know, like a price sheet that you can take home, I think that's very, very valuable. Let me just kind of answer these as far as my own school, and you know, by no means is that supposed to be the standard of all the other schools, but at least give you a little bit of information on us. Who teaches the classes? The classes are either taught by me or one of our certified instructors who have gone through quite a rigorous standard to be able to teach our classes. We do have junior instructors and also adult assistants who do also help teach the class as well, but they are just there for assistance so we can increase our instructor versus student ratio as well. But you'll never find the class being taught just by the best student in the class. It's always going to be someone who has spent the time, really spent the investment of being able to hold that kind of certification. I'm full time. This is something I've already alluded to before. I've actually had the blessing of being able to do this full time for a number of years, and really being able to put in, sometimes to the chagrin of my own wife and family, putting in 12 to 14-hour days, really focusing on my school, finding ways that I can increase the quality. That's just, once again, one of the blessings that I've been able to do, and obviously my students have been able to benefit from. Class size. Once again, we try to stay between 12 or 14 students, give or take there, depending on the age of the class. But once again, that's on our average class size. Promise level, unfortunately, we don't have a promise level. A student's going to have to be able to earn their own rankings within our own system. And that's just the way that I've always done things, and that's the way that we'll always do things. We can't promise you that you'll get to a certain level by a certain time, just because we don't know if you're going to be able to stick with the program, if you're going to be able to continue at the level or at the intensity that you started out the program with. We just don't know that. You're going to have to earn, and your child's going to have to earn whatever level that they get. And believe me, there is a direct correlation between earning what they get and their self-confidence level, and we're going to be able to help you to do that, obviously. Last but not least, as far as fees or extras, we have so many different kinds of programs. Probably the best thing to do is just contact me directly so I can pretty much lay out what our fees are, but also give you a price sheet that you can take home with you, and so you know exactly what all the fees are going to be. Believe me, we have created a fee structure that has kept your particular budget in mind. So whether you want to come on in several times a week or maybe just a few times a week, we're going to be able to help you with that. So once again, hopefully that helps you there. What I want to also do is I also want to give you a bonus video here. So hopefully I've been able to deliver that in a timely manner, but I want to make sure that we give you a bonus video here, because obviously we've just gone over really a half dozen things that you must be aware of, but I want to include one more thing that you really need to think about here. Really need to think about, and I'll be covering that in the next video. Once again, feel free to call me or contact me via email if you have any questions on these. I'd love to talk over any of these points that I've covered through any of these videos a little bit more in depth with you, and really ask you a bunch of questions yourself, because I want to know a little bit more about you and also your needs as well. So I'll be looking forward to your phone call or email. Thanks so much, and look forward to seeing you soon.